So there's this YouTuber called ID Guy. So I actually patterned some of my content based on his design descriptive ideas, right? This is how it looks like. No, I'm not copying his shirt. I'm not copying his shirt. I'm not copying his shirt. But man, he's buff. ID Guy, one of my favorite content creators, recently released a video about him redesigning the new Tudor Pelagos FXD. Now, I wanted to join in on the fun and not just redesign the new Pelagos, but also a couple of famous watches based on your ideas. Let's get to it. The Pelagos FXD is shaping up as a great release from Tudor, and to many people it's a near perfect watch. Near perfect because you have preferences. Ben prefers the normal Pelagos in many ways. One of his preferences is the simpler bezel detail. Coffee Chemistry likes the new fixed lugs but misses the old dial color. Maki Hao, on the other hand, wishes there's a bracelet option. As fun as it looked on paper to draw over this concept, it's also pretty apparent that some people just want the older Pelagos. Just look at it. As for me, I do like what Tudor did with this reference, and I'm pretty happy to keep it as is. However, I can't resist and accept the challenge of making a bracelet option for the Pelagos FXD. My approach for this is not to touch the case at all and make an add-on for the fixed lug case. To do this, I drew up a two-piece end-link design. This way, all the locking mechanism can be hidden under the case. Since the lug distance is already 52mm, I opted to place the actual first link hinge under the lugs. The plate on this part of the bracelet is wishfully made in titanium with its sliding lock mechanism placed in the middle of the plate for accessibility. While we're dreaming about this, let us have every link to be made in titanium as well. On the top side of the Pelagos FXD, we'll have the cover to be molded in a way to seamlessly look like it's a proper end link. The benefits of having this construction is that there's no screws or mechanism visible on this side and risk breaking the aesthetics. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your comments. Around 4 weeks ago, Thoma suggested a Royal Oak case with a Breguet Classique dial watch. It sounded very interesting, so I took a stab at it. First, I had a straightforward swap of dials for these two watches. I made the dial a little smaller and broadened the hands a bit to match the broad surfaces of the Royal Oak. Then I started to work on the shape of the case and made it curvier in keeping with Breguet's design direction and removed the screws on the bezel. I tried making the inner links polished, but I ditched that idea in the end because it messed up the spirit of the watch. And there you have it, the Breguet Sportique TB01 TB for Thomas Burnett edition. It turned out okay in my opinion, with a simple dial from the Classique. However, I felt it could go a step further by using the traditional dial, which provided a much needed contrast to the whole watch. I picked up one more watch suggestion, which is from Monkey C Production. He asked to squeeze in the Lange Zeitwerk movement in a Monaco case. So I did that right away and cut the dial out and slapped it on the Monaco. I then reshaped the case a little to make it a little more rounded from the inside instead of having a solid-sided square glass. I cleaned up the dial a bit and added some metal extensions for the striking hammer bridges. And ta-da! The Zeitwerk Quadrat is born. After finishing this piece, I went online to one of the live streams to see what some watch folks have to say about the idea.
I finally have a Lange Franken watch. You know, Designatelier, I think you're slowly improving and just matching our taste.
At the stream. Oh, what the? That's a Dr. Dremel. That's a Dr. Dremel.
Yeah. Look how beautiful that is.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that's very Bauhaus inspired at all. This guy is a real guru, man. How the hell he takes Lange and he puts on a mono? Oh my goodness.
So, Wizard, maybe you remember when I was talking about my meeting with or my telephone conversation with Mr. De Haas, who is the product developer at Lange. So just imagine, I bring Design Atelier's drawing here as a proposal for a special Dutch edition of the Lange.
Wow.
I think we need an orange dial for that.
I love these reactions. That was hilarious, wasn't it? Let's do it again. Comment down below about that dream watch you want to be redesigned for me to butcher. That was bad. That was terrible.